I think there's maybe, what one ways that people can do it is, traveling to Peru and doing ayahuasca with you and actually getting a felt experience. Because I think once you know it, I think everything changes. Now, for people that haven't done that or aren't willing to do that, I think we have to get to a place of awareness. It has to be awareness of we could say ego, which is the identity of self. And I think the ego I think it has a tough time, and people demonize it a lot as though it's a bad thing. And I don't think it is. I think a wounded ego can be the cause of some pretty heavy stuff. But I think the ego in and of itself is actually just our kind of separate sense of identity. And I don't think that always has to be bad or evil or heavy. I think actually, if we've done a lot of healing, I think that idea of earth me, maybe we could call it, like doesn't have to be this like root of all evil. I think it's actually maybe the identification with ego plus a deep sense of shame. I think it's those combinations. So I think if we can have awareness that I do have a sense of who I am, but that sense of who I am is not all that I am. And I think that's the first awareness, is that sense of who I am is not all that I am. And if it's not all that I am, then what else am I?
Hmm.
And I think if we can start to explore that and realize, well, if I can quiet that part of me that thinks it's me, what else could I access?
No, that's an amazing idea. When I was going deep into this, trying to work my way through this sort of hall of mirrors, it sounded in my head like the head would ping the idea of myself almost at like the speed of thought. It would be just like not saying me, but like that's what the brain was doing. It was making everything like that. And I love this idea that you can question beyond that sort of echolocation in your own brain and, ask yourself if there's more to you that's beyond just that fixation. And I think that's a great way to like, almost like trip the switch, like get the brain to all of a sudden look for something else, to see something else. That's fascinating way of looking at that. I really appreciate that idea. Like, how has all of this stuff over the last years added up for you to like making sense of it? It sounds like you've had such amazing experiences with ayahuasca, seeing divinity and moving past your own disbeliefs about the way other people shared it with you, moving through the dark night of the soul, moving through different aspects of ego, these channelings and live, visitations by, really incredible figures, this idea of moving beyond the fixation of your own consciousness and into this greater understanding of who you are and what you are in this universe. How has all of that come together?